I get into this on again, off again relationship that basically was a year and 8 months of pure chaos, hell on earth. And if you've ever been in a narcissistic relationship, you're like, it's hard to explain to other people because it's such a mind fuck. I'm not sure if I can curse on here or not,
Yeah.
but it really screws with your mind and, like, the perception of reality of who you are and your ability to trust yourself. So it was a long year and 8 months of, chronic cheating, chronic gaslighting, blame shifting, all of the standard narcissistic abuse tactics. But I didn't know that. I just thought this guy, if I'm being really honest, I thought this guy kept coming back to me because he loved me so much. Like, that was really the mindset I had. And I think a lot of survivors of narcissistic abuse, specifically in romantic relationships, think that, especially because of the societal conditioning of, like, if they keep coming back to you, it must be really special. And it's like, or they're just a, narcissistic relationship cycle. So long story short, right towards the end of the relationship, I started learning about narcissism because, of course, in true fashion, I had to Google to try and figure out why this relationship was so toxic. Learned about that. And as I started connecting those dots, I started realizing, wait a second, this sounds a lot about like my mom.
Yeah.
and and then it all connected, and I started learning about trauma and how we're wired for patterns and why we're wired for patterns. And so basically, I got into a lot of toxic relationships. And then this specific one, he actually was diagnosed with an NPD and confided in me about that when I broke up with him, because I had figured it out enough that I was like, ooh, like, and so when I mentioned it, he had been to court ordered therapy because of some violence from his past. And he was like, yeah, when I was in court ordered therapy, it came up. So I was like, oh, good to know. Cool. Bye. Yeah, and then, but as I've gone through this journey, the amount of love and compassion and trust I've developed with myself and the relationship I have with myself and the world that I've created for myself since then is so beautiful.